Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn something permanent. So I'm very interested to teach this tissue named as a permanent tissue. So as we have studied in the previous class about the meristematic tissue cells or the meristematic tissue, which are the continuously dividing cells or dividing tissues which help in the growth of the plant. Okay, students. Now, when the cells of the meristematic tissues lose the power of division and attain maturity to perform a particular function or a specific function, so such tissues form the permanent tissues. Now, as we have told you earlier, that the process where the cells take a permanent shape, size, structure, and function is called differentiation. That means the permanent tissue cells are the differentiated cells. Now, on the basis of the composition and the function they perform, permanent tissues are mainly of two types: simple permanent tissue and complex permanent tissue. See, this is the permanent tissues and they have been divided into two types, that is the simple permanent tissue and the complex permanent tissue. So, why we are saying that the permanent tissue is simple or complex? It depends upon the composition of the cells or the types of cells present in the tissue or even the function they have to perform in the body of a plant. So it might be a parenchyma tissue, it might be a parenchyma tissue which is a simple permanent tissue, or it might be a collenchyma tissue, or it might be a sclerenchyma tissue. So all these three different types of tissues, which are named as a simple permanent tissue, have a specific function to perform and act as a permanent tissue to perform a specific and a specialized function. So now in this class, today we are going to study about all these different types of simple permanent tissue one by one. So simple permanent tissues are the one which have only one type of cells that are structurally and functionally similar. Okay. Now you can see there is a transverse, that is a lengthwise and cross-sectional view of the different tissues, that is parenchyma tissue, collenchyma tissue, and the sclerenchyma tissue. So you can see there are intercellular spaces between the cells of the parenchyma tissue, and they might be a bit spherical, over or polygonal. Similarly, the collenchyma tissues have cell walls which are cellulose deposited, and they might be circular in shape, oval in shape, or polygonal in shape. This is the lengthwise view of this particular tissue, that is a collenchyma tissue. And even the sclerenchyma tissue, which contains the dead cells, they have a cell wall which is deposited with lignin, and the lignin is a cementing substance which gives a strength, tensile strength and compressive strength to the particular cell. And they are known as stone cell as they are very hard and are present in the grit and in the husk of coconut. That is why they are considered as the stone cell, which we are naming as the sclerenchyma tissue. Now one by one we are going to study about the different tissues, that is the parenchyma tissue, collenchyma tissue, and sclerenchyma tissue. First of all, we are going to study about the parenchyma tissue. Students, first of all, the term para means beside and enchyma means filling. Okay, from these both the terms we can understand that is, it is a filling tissue or a packing tissue. That means it packs the spaces between the other underlying tissues. Now the parenchyma tissues are mostly found in roots, stems, leaves, flowers and fruits of a plant. Almost all the parts of the plant contain the parenchyma tissue. They are living cells with a thin and flexible cell wall made of cellulose. They are living cells with a thin and flexible cell wall. You can see in this case in the figure, there is a primary cell wall which is slightly thin, very thin cell wall, and it is flexible and it is made up of cellulose. The shape of the cells, it seems as if they are spherical, or it might be oval, cylindrical, or spindle in shape. The cells of this tissue have intercellular spaces. So you can see that between the cells of the parenchyma tissue there are some intercellular spaces, because of which it provides some kind of flexibility to the plant and even some kind of support to the plant, and also helps to give the buoyancy to the plants because it contains some air spaces or the intercellular spaces. And each cell has a prominent nucleus and a large central vacuole. You can see in this figure the white color portion is a vacuole and the nucleus is at the periphery. It is marked here, you can see that. This is the nucleus which is marked here, and this is the whitish color, sorry. It is a whitish color vacuole, that is the central vacuole. Okay. Now there are some functions of parenchyma which it performs. Like the main function of this tissue is assimilation and storage of reserved food in their large vacuoles. As we know, the function of a vacuole is to store food. So the main function of this parenchyma tissue is assimilation and storage of reserved food. So also named as a storage parenchyma. Even it stores certain waste products like tannin, gum, crystals, and inorganic waste. You must have seen in the plants, the gum used to come out from the plant. We used to uh, take out when I was a child in a school. There was a tree in my school, and I used to take out gum and stick some paper pieces or something other. So this is the products which are present in the plants, which in which the parenchyma tissue store as the waste products like tannin, gum, crystals, and inorganic waste. Even this tissue helps to give a certain kind of a buoyancy to the plant, to the aquatic plants, to the hydrophytes. They contain large air cavities are present in the parenchyma tissue, which gives the buoyancy to the plants. Buoyancy, that means buoyancy is the upward force which is exerted on the plants, so that these aquatic plants or the hydrophytes float in the water. And even some parenchyma cells contain chloroplasts, so they perform photosynthesis, so they are named as a chlorenchyma also. So even as I told you earlier, they act like parenchyma packing tissue to fill the spaces between the other tissues. Okay, this was a brief description of the parenchyma tissue. Okay, now students, we are going to study about the collenchyma tissue, in which the term colla means glue and enchyma means tissue. Okay, now, the collenchyma tissue is mostly found below the epidermis in leaf stalk. First of all, we should understand this term. Leaf stalk is the stem or the cylindrical portion of the leaf which is connected to the stem. And the leaf midribs are the veins or the middle part of the vein of the leaf, the middle part of the leaf, in which the veins are coming out of it. Such part is known as the leaf midribs. And in herbaceous stems, ये लीफ स्टॉक में प्रेजेंट रहते हैं कोलेनकाइमा, लीफ मिडरिब्स में प्रेजेंट रहते हैं, even in herbaceous stems. And the herbaceous stems are the one which do not have a woody stem. Okay, such are known as the herbaceous stems. So even it is also a living tissue like the parenchyma, in which the cells are thin walled with cellulose thickenings. You can see in this figure, they have thin walled, so there are certain wall thickenings also. So they contain cellulose wall thickenings. That is why they are thickened with the cellulose at the corners. So because of the thickening of the cellulose, it gives a certain kind of a tensile strength to this particular tissue, and each cell possesses a large central vacuole. So every cell of the collenchyma contains a large central vacuole. As in the case of parenchyma, you can see the most of the functions, most of the characteristics of the parenchyma and collenchyma are same, slightly are different. So you can see in the middle there is a large central vacuole, and they also contain a peripheral cytoplasm. That means the cytoplasm is at the periphery, किनारे पे cytoplasm है और nucleus भी किनारे पे है. इसके देख सकते हैं आप, फिगर में नजर आ रहा है. ठीक है. So there is very little intercellular spaces. As you can see, there are very little intercellular spaces present in between the cells. So it is a mechanical tissue which provide mechanical support and elasticity, because it has certain kind of cellulose thickening, so it provides mechanical support and even elasticity to the particular plant parts. Thus it provides tensile strength with flexibility to the organs like leaf and stem, without getting torn broken during the strong winds. Suppose a strong winds blows over the leaves, the different parts of the plant, this particular tissue collenchyma provides flexibility to the organs like leaf and stem, so that they should not get torn or broken because of the strong wind. And the tensile strength means that is, if stretched, it will not break into pieces. So because of the cellulose thickening and the thick wall thickenings of the collenchyma, it provides certain kind of tensile strength and flexibility to the plants. And even when cells of collenchyma contain some chloroplasts, they manufacture sugar and starch and help in the storage of the sugar and starch in their body. Now finally, we are going to study about the sclerenchyma tissue. And the sclerenchyma tissue, scleros means hard and chyma means tissue. So from the name we can easily understand that that means it provides some kind of hardness and strength to the plant because of its thick walled lignin deposits. This is the main thing difference between the sclerenchyma tissue and all the other tissues, that it contains a lignin deposit on its walls or the cell walls, because of which there is no living protoplasm in the case of sclerenchyma tissues. So it is mostly found in stems, around the vascular bundle, roots, veins of leaves, hard coverings of seeds and nuts, and also the husk of coconut, and even in fiber yielding plants like jute and wax. You know, the jute and wax are flax are mostly used in the carpets or making certain textile clothes. So they are used in that. So in these particular regions, the sclerenchyma tissue mostly present. So it has dead cells which have hard and extremely thick walls. So it contains dead cells mostly, which have very hard and extremely thick walls due to lignin deposits. As I told you earlier, lignin is a cementing substance which gives a thickening and a strength, a good strong strength and a rigid support to the particular plant. And because of its lignin, the cell wall is strong and rigid, and as well as impermeable to water. The cell is impermeable to water, because of which the living protoplasm is not present in the case of sclerenchyma tissues, and the cells are mostly dead in the case of sclerenchyma tissues. And the cell lumen or the cell cavity is very narrow and absent. You can see this. This is the cell lumen which is inside this cell. This is very narrow and mostly absent because of the strong thickening of the walls with the lignin. And there are some oblique thin areas like here in this case, which are found with pits, and the cells in this tissue are closely packed. The most of the cells are very closely packed without any intercellular spaces. That is why they provide a lot of hardness to the different plant parts. So the main function of the sclerenchyma tissue is that it provides protective covering to the seeds and nuts, and even mechanical support to the plant. It gives strength, rigidity, flexibility, elasticity to the plant body, and enables it to withstand the various strains. Okay. So these are the various functions of sclerenchyma, collenchyma, and parenchyma. Briefly, I've explained you about it. So as a different comparison, you can see in this both the different cells of the parenchyma, collenchyma, sclerenchyma. So students, please write as it is the notes based on this particular tissue named as a permanent tissue, simple permanent tissue, and please draw appropriate diagrams. You have to draw all these diagrams and try to read it once again. And if any question arises, please ask me in the class. Okay, students, thank you very much.